Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until Tears of the Kingdom comes out, which is today in 16 days. Tomorrow, previews for the game will officially drop. I can already tell you, I was not invited by Nintendo to play the game early, so I won't be covering any preview content. I will, however, talk about previews of the game. I actually watched Ratatosk's video and I kind of want to update my spoiler policy. I will talk basically about everything on this channel that is officially basically allowed from Nintendo to be put out before the game comes out, right? So previews are fine, reviews are fine the day they come out, presumably on May 10th, where I won't necessarily cover the content of the reviews, but I will cover maybe the scores that the game got. I will also probably briefly touch on the previews. One thing that I'm really interested in is if we potentially find out how to switch abilities. That's still something I'm really scared about, because I don't really know how to switch them yet. People have been saying you have to double press L. D-pad up isn't the same thing anymore, because now it's the material menu. So I'm really interested how abilities will change. Hopefully the people that played this preview can tell us this information. And that's something that I might be covering tomorrow. But what I want to cover today is the ad that now has been officially revealed, the ad for Tears of the Kingdom with new gameplay footage. I know everyone and their mom have already talked about it on YouTube. I want to focus on some small details that I feel like a lot of people have missed, that I think are a lot more interesting. I'm not going to be going into detail about the Flame Gleeok or about the fact that you can go underground, but about some smaller details. So first of all, in the shot of Hyrule Castle, you can actually see a new village, which I think is really interesting, because that village is where the Sacred Ground runes are, where there's no village in Breath of the Wild, right? The Sacred Ground runes are a place that we have not seen yet. We have seen tents in Hyrule Castle town, but not in Sacred Ground ruins. There could just be a new encampment or village there, but I think this makes me believe even more that there's multiple potential encampments that you can maybe build. Maybe you have to bring specific people to these locations first with the little like cards that we've seen Link use, and then eventually they will maybe be shopkeepers there or like NPCs there, and you will be able to go to shops and use these little encampments around Hyrule. I think that would be kind of interesting. Oh wait, I actually do want to use Obos's Fury because I need it potentially for, well, definitely for the monk fight. It's very powerful there. But yeah, so new encampments at Sacred Ground Ruins. We see the tower icon for the first time, the new Sheikah Towers, which I believe are another possibility to go underground and back to the surface, and they're probably also related to obtaining the map. That's the detail in this shot. People have brought up, yes, there's like batteries that we see now in one of the flying machines. We see that the coordinates are still there. Things that you've probably heard in other videos. Flame Gleeok, like I already said. Maybe there's other types of Gleeoks. What I want to talk about is some of the shots that play on presumably the Sky Plateau. We have this shot where Link is using a minecart and is trying to cross a specific part of a track. In that shot, the minecart falls down, and so does Link. And when you see this shot, you can actually see something that looks like a very solid cloud barrier. I was thinking that this footage is probably from somebody playing the new Sky Plateau. That's what I describe it as, the new potentially tutorial area of the game. And this big, like thick cloud barrier, we've also seen in screenshots.
Now you can use Daruk protection more than ever.
And to me, this looks like the cloud barrier. I'm letting Daruk talk as always. This is the last like dialogue.
Give him a message for me. Good riddance, bacon breath.
So this basically makes me believe, and I've talked about the theory a bunch of this channel, that the cloud barrier is canon. It's something that the dragons can go through. The shot in the recent trailer where everybody was saying, oh yeah, Ganon is destroying it here. And this shot, I don't believe is Ganon destroying it. I believe this is us literally seeing the cloud barrier working. His like malice beam is stopped by it. And when we start the game, the cloud barrier will still be up. It will be basically the fog from the Great Plateau, which is going to make it so that when we fall down, we void back onto the tutorial section until it's completed, and we probably get the recall tier. This makes it so that my one prediction that I that's like a dream prediction, which I want to happen. I'm not actually believing it to happen. is still possible, which is that the opening for Tears of the Kingdom is Link essentially being carried through the cloud barrier by our new dragon man Richard in his dragon form, presumable dragon form, the one from the screenshot, this like golden light type dragon. That's still possible, not sure if it will happen, but I would literally freak out if it did, because that's like such a wild prediction and would be such a cool opening to the game. I believe that cloud barrier information makes it more likely for that to happen. Now, one other thing I want to talk about, as I'm going to go through Hyrule Castle, kill some Guardians to get Guardian parts, because I want Ancient Arrows for the final trial. Because I will also be doing the final trial, even though I technically don't need to reach 100%. That's going to be in tomorrow's video, where I will be breezing through that section and explain you one of the coolest tricks in the game. But yeah, I want to talk about the underground shot from a different perspective. In that underground shot, we see one of those, I almost want to say like mushroom glowy trees. They're like big trees that look a little bit like mushroom-like, but also a little bit just like big roots. That's the word, sorry, root. That's the English word, like roots, and they glow. They glow in like an orange light. I am pretty sure that these trees or roots will be related to the past, because they naturally glow orange. And I was thinking before, so what do they mean? What do these trees actually do for us? I'm pretty sure that these roots have ember encased in them. And what that means is, I'm not sure if you know ember from real life, not only from from Breath of the Wild, but ember in real life, it's possible that like old animals and insects can be encased in ember. And I believe ember in Tears of the Kingdom could be related to storing memories or even creatures from the past. I don't know if we're going to be opening this ember, but in the shot I'm talking about from the ad, you see this ember thing in between roots and it's dripping down something. And I believe this is going to be related either to memories or again to getting the map, maybe an ancient version of the map. Maybe this ember has basically saved that ancient version of the map, or it literally has like memories from the past. That is what I believe these orange big ember stones inside those root growths are. Let me think, what else do we have? We have the Gleeok shot, I discussed the underground shot. Presumably that underground shot, by the way, is somewhere here, where I'm looking at right now. There's a malice hole right in this area. This is again where we see the new encampment, and around there is where we see a new Sheikah tower. Which again, I believe this Sheikah tower is also related to this big underground. Anything else? Hyrule Castle, I'm kind of sad that we couldn't see below it. If you have followed my recent theories, I think there's a pretty good chance that Ganon is still below Hyrule Castle when we get to play the game. Also, that area, by the way, from the Sky Plateau with the minecarts, I'm pretty sure that's very close to the Ultra Hand Shrine. I was trying to map out where all of the shrines are on the Sky Plateau in the past, and I wasn't necessarily like super sure about it. Now I'm fairly sure that the specific area we see that shot in is at the Ultra Hand Shrine. That makes a lot of sense. Those minecarts and the fans will essentially act as like a tutorial for that shrine once you have obtained that power. So that's what I believe that location is. Also, sorry for all of these Master Sword noises. Okay. Link wasn't able to log on at all there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the ad. I'm sure other people have already taken it apart. I'm thinking, oh no, one more interesting shot. The shot of Link using Ascent through the monster camp. Twitter user Zakuya actually found that specific location. I think it's somewhere around the Whistling Hill. I wish I would know right away where this location is. Here. I think it's somewhere around here, looking down at these trees. Or these trees down here. It's somewhere in this area. And there's a new lake there. And in Breath of the Wild, if you go there, you can perfectly see the hole in Hebra Mountains, right? Which was a scar from the Calamity fight. And you can still see like some sort of damage there, but it looks visibly different in that shot where Link uses Ascent. It could be the angle, it could be YouTube compression, but it does make me a little bit suspicious. I think we still have hope that you can somehow have dynamic changes in the game world depending on events of the past. Something that I still wanted to mention. Speaking of things that I still wanted to mention, I'm gonna go up to the Akala Tech Lab and get some Ancient Arrows before we do the final trial tomorrow. But speaking of other things that I still wanted to mention, I personally wanted to give a shout out to today specifically, because today marks 200 days of LimQ Plus videos in a row. I don't think I've done anything ever for 200 days in a row in some sort of streak, so I guess I'm a little bit proud of it. But I'm also glad how many of you have decided to tune in and partake in this very exciting time and this countdown for a game that a lot of us have been waiting for a long time. 200 days today. I know if you go to the channel right now, it's gonna say like 176 videos that you'll see in a row, but that's because when I first started this channel, I didn't actually do a 100% playthrough. I kind of just played the game, wind bombing around, similar to these like Subway Surfer videos that you may see on TikTok sometimes or other platforms where they read like a Reddit thread. That was like the idea for this channel at the start. It has evolved from that to become this playthrough that it is now, that we are about to finish. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing the final trial, and then we have some extra time to kill before we go and get the Zonai Ruins, which will be the final location. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about those previews. Actually, I'm not sure if I will, because maybe I'll wait for them to come out before I do tomorrow's daily recording, because I think they're scheduled to come out at like 3 p.m. and then I at least have an interesting topic to talk about. Wait, no, actually no, maybe I'm not talking about the previews tomorrow. Maybe I'm talking about the final dungeon skip tomorrow, because that's what I have to do, and then I'm talking about the previews the day after they came out. We'll be lighting up this flame here, and then tomorrow we'll get the Ancient Arrows, make our way to the final trial, and I'll show you the... Actually, sorry for constantly changing my mind, but I will get those now if I wasn't broke. Which apparently I'm broke. Isn't he gonna give me like 3 Ancient Arrows as well? I think so. I wanted to get basically perfectly set up before I do the final trial tomorrow, so I can focus on explaining that pretty cool skip and then also the monk fight itself. So it looks like we're going to be playing for a little bit more, and I will be getting through this cutscene here. Thank you for the 3 Ancient Arrows. Unfortunately, I won't even be able to make any money here. So I think what I might do is I might sell some stuff and make some Ancient Arrows off recording just to prepare. That's the only thing I do. So we can do the final trial tomorrow. I'll show you that skip, and then the day after we talk about Tears of the Kingdom previews. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow when Tears of the Kingdom is out in Absurd. 15 days. Enjoy the rest of your week. Peace.